Metatarsal. It's petrified, meaning it's become rock.
Okay.
Not all fossils are petrified.
Dinosaur foot.
It's heavy.
Wow.
And this is part of the leg bone of a triceratops. This one's from Colorado. It's also petrified.
Wow. Has anyone ever dropped this?
No?
I mean, because it's heavy. Casey?
We're and you can hold it later if you'd like.
Okay, I'll touch it.
Yeah, and, oh, you'll touch it. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you. Okay, I just had to say it.
Cool. And I don't know if you saw this on the front porch, but so this is the size of one vertebra from one of the biggest dinosaurs, a long-necked dinosaur called an Argentinosaur. Guess where it was found? Argentina, of course. It was 130 or 140 feet long. For comparison, this is a vertebra from a crocodile that was about 12 feet long. So 5 feet 6 inches tall, taller than you. This dinosaur was 130 or 140 feet long, the biggest blue whale we know
So
of.
this is the one from the book of Job
Yes, it
that
is.
is described?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we got
I'll
more
take a picture.
information of that inside.
Whoa. Okay. This is so cool.
And the ones called behemoth, all the long-necked dinosaurs would have been that type, not
Okay.
just this Argentinosaur. And let's see, you gals are pretty much dressed for snow.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah.
Can you do snow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do
Let's
snow.
walk over by that blue post here,
Okay.
and
Oh, that's cute. Oh, my word.
is 8 feet 8 inches tall. This is the size of one vertebra from the biggest dinosaur I know of.
Oh, wow.
A different long-necked dinosaur found in Colorado called an Amphicoelus that was 185 to 200 feet long. It was 1.5 times as long as the biggest blue whale on record. It would have been definitely the heaviest animal that ever lived.
So it was on the ark too? Wait.
Yes,
Wow.
dinosaurs were on the ark also.
I believe it.
So
I'm
come
just
over
wondering.
here.
Hear that, guys? Dinosaurs were on the ark.
You can have to go.
Okay, will you take a video of me playing on the boat?
These are carnivorous goats that eat people.
Will you take a video?
They're nice goats.
Will you do a video?
Hi, how are you? Good girl. Hi, Mr. Coconut. So these have been named by girls. That's Coco and Mr. Coconut. And then the buffalo, the bison, is Tricky.
Aww.
Mr. Tricky? Oh, he don't like me. He's running away.
I know, right?
Tea shop's kind of a fun place.
Yeah.
I've bought things a few times. So, this blue post is marking one end of Noah's Ark. Can one of you see the other blue post?
This post is marking one of Noah's.
One end
I'm
of
so
Noah's
tired.
Ark.
One end of Noah's Ark.
See at the base of the hill there?
Oh, that's it. I was like looking at the ridgeline. I was like, it's gotta be huge.
No, it's huge.
What's-
It's 450 feet. That's based on a standard cubit.
Yeah.
If the Bible's talked, it's not clear in the Bible if it's a standard cubit or a royal cubit or a larger pre-flood cubit. Of course, they wouldn't have called it that, but But the other cubits we know of are longer than the standard cubit. And so it would be this length at a minimum. And based on a standard cubit, it would be 10 feet taller than the peak of the roof of the museum. It was a huge ship. Now, you know, Noah and his family didn't have to catch the animals. God sent them to him. Do any of you have a dog?
No.
No. Okay.
Used to, back in the day.
So he sent them by kinds, not by species. I pick on pugs. If we only breed dogs with short legs and a squashed face and short hair, we get a pug. And there's a significant loss of genetic information, especially in the purebreds. But we know that the dogs are dogs. They can have babies together, maybe not the extremes, but you know, they're one kind, they're one species. It's real obvious. But in the case of monkeys, it turns out 16 different types of monkeys that we've labeled different species, different genus, even different orders, are one interbreeding population, one biblical kind, including baboons, drills, mandrills. The male mandrills have bright blue and red skin on parts of their bodies, you know. Macaques and 12 others. They're one interbreeding population. In the case of the monkeys, it's because of isolation. There's been a loss of genetic information in different populations. So not like mutation and new information, but a loss of genetic information. But that causes certain features to become more noticeable, more pronounced. But they're one biblical kind. Now, of these really big animals, like the dinosaurs, like the, probably mammoths and things like that, God probably sent young ones. The Bible doesn't say that, but they would have had longer lives ahead of themselves, for one thing. And I don't mean babies, but young ones.
And
because this biggest dinosaur, this if its nose was here, 185 feet is where the dark red post is, a little bit past. Yeah, or 15 feet more.
Oh my
It was 185 to 200 feet long, the one that just
That's an
vertebrate.
adult.
What's that?
That's an adult.
That's an adult of that species, and that's an adult of that. So the long-necked dinosaurs, I would probably lump them as one biblical kind. And even though there were variations amongst them, and maybe there was more than one biblical kind there, I don't know.
But on the ark, so Noah brought babies on the ark.
Young ones, not babies, but young ones, yeah. So they wouldn't have been this full size, is what I'm saying. Now there was a lot of miracles clearly involved, but it's been figured out several times there was plenty of room on the ark for all the variety of animals on a kinds basis, not on a species basis. But like looking at you folks, okay, you have either blonde or really light brown hair, and you've got dark hair. Do you have some wave to your hair? Okay, and so
You noticed.
well, so you know, especially if you had stronger wave or curly hair, we'd say, oh, you're definitely a different species. I'm thinking of, like, I'm a biologist among other things. If I find a field mouse, you know, oh, this one's got wavy hair. This is definitely a different species, but they might all be from the same litter. You know what I mean? And we can have color variation within the species. We might call it a subspecies, but that can be true in one family, you know. But if we know from the outside that they're one family, they're all fully people. And of course, we know that we're all descendants both of Adam and Eve and of everyone on the world, in the world, and of Noah and his wife. So we're a bunch of cousins. We can head on back in.
Awesome. I'm pretty sure I'm a descendant of also Stephen. So I just kind of explained that. I don't know.
Why?
I think I said I'm pretty sure I come from the line of Stephen. This is mother.
Why do you say that?
I don't
You
know.
had
I just
hardships,
feel
or-
like a kinship with him.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he was a very good man.
Yeah.
very good person. He didn't have to be a man, but he was.
He was bold and
Yeah.
obedient and yeah.
And I mean, Christ, you know, he even stood up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, some of this stuff, it all ties in with the Bible, but some of it's just for fun more. This is an artist drawing of a giant ground sloth compared to a deer. And ground sloths lived around here.
I've seen those in like the DC Museum of Natural History type of thing. They had like the full skeleton of the ground sloth. I was like, that's
yeah, they were huge.
massive.
And this is a cast of a claw of one of these ground sloths. And
That's this one?
this one here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And actually, okay, so the peacock copper I've got over there, this is lapis lazuli. I don't know if,
I've heard of it. I don't know.
and you were commenting on this seashell.
I
that
wanna
is
get some of
beautiful, and
these.
that's not a fossil, that's
She wants crystals.
they're alive today in the South Pacific. I don't know if she's, you know. So, oh, we find mammoths and ground sloths with arrowheads and spear points in them, and you know, like parts of a ground sloth were found about 50 miles from here, outside of Quincy.
Did you find all these things?
About 2/3 of them.
Wow.
We've actually found the first dinosaur fossils here in Washington.
Really? Wow, that's cool.
So this is a leg bone from a duck-billed dinosaur from the Hell Creek Formation in eastern Montana. And in with it, there's lots of fossil figs. And a lot of these figs were about ripe. But it was really rapid burial because they're not pecked at by birds or insects. They're not dried up and shriveled. There's stingray vertebra and bones and teeth of 6 different types of sharks in this Hell Creek Formation with lots of plants and these dinosaurs. So it's land and sea life mixed together. Something you don't see in most books or movies about dinosaurs is that mammal fossils are really common with the dinosaurs. So these are smaller mammal teeth and weasel to fox-sized mammal jaw pieces.
Wow.
And it's a whole variety of mammals that any paleontologist who knows their stuff would be able to confirm. There's lots and lots of squirrels and chipmunks and mice, lots and lots of possums. There's flying lemurs. These are like flying monkeys. There's lots of insectivores like shrews and tree shrews. There's duck-billed platypus. There's hedgehogs. There's carnivores like badgers and numbats. Numbats live in Africa. But this doesn't fit in with evolution, so this isn't commonly taught. But this is true in China, in Britain, in South Africa, in other formations here in America. I've done lots of excavating in many parts of the country and even a little bit in other countries. And I mentioned we've actually found the first dinosaur fossils here in Washington. So in the Cascade Mountains about 30 miles away in deposits from the world flood, we found footprints of what are definitely young duck-billed dinosaurs. We found footprints of what are, I believe the best matches are either iguanodons or these horned dinosaurs that look like dragons. They're actually plant eaters. We found a 4-toed footprint we don't have a good match for, but you can even see the impression of the scales in the ankle area.
That's so cool.
We found one other 3-toed slender footprint, but it's a very common one, so we can't really narrow it down much. But in with them, we found the tooth of a young mosasaur, a leviathan-type ocean dinosaur. Yeah. So here again, it's land and sea life mixed together. There's lots of plant fossils there. We found what's probably the impression of an ammonite shell, a squid shell, and with the leaves and the small fish, it's definitely rapid burial, and it's clearly land and sea life mixed
When
together.
you emphasize land and sea life, you're referring to like Noah's flood, right? Is that
Flood
what?
when
Okay,
Noah was
double
alive.
checking. I was like making sure I'm tracking.
Have you heard of this guy?
Impression.
In prison in Iran.
Is it by?
He spoke
we've read parts of them, my family and I together, yes. They've read the whole thing, but I didn't read parts of it, but yeah. Very, very good. And, so this is talking about how the world was more perfect for life in the past. And, you know, the Bible and some cultures talk about people living to be several hundred years old, and they might not even get married till they're 200, 300, 400 years old. So they're not just old, but they're youthful and vigorous.
Wow.
And some animals, including reptiles, amphibians, fish, so dinosaurs, they grow all their life. So if they live to be several hundred years old, they'll be huge. And those biggest dinosaurs were before the world flood. Now, she took pictures. We've got a lot of evidence that people and dinosaurs lived together both before and after the world flood. And they're still big after the world flood.
Or like,
Both ways.
okay, depending on what type of species.
What type of dinosaur more than anything.
Okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, we have it from many parts of the world. Cambodia, Australia, all over South America. Many places in Europe, the Middle East. Several places here in America.
Wow. Doesn't that just put you in awe and wonder of like just God and like wow, it just
It's really fascinating stuff.
It is.
And it all ties in with the Bible.
Yeah.
We've got a whole lot of stuff. I'm kind of going through like our normal tour. But I could focus on certain things if you're in a hurry.
No, I don't think
Do the tour you're doing. Yeah, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, what is that bird?
Okay, this is not, let me start with this. Let me start with earlier. Is that okay?
Sorry.
Yeah.
So,
I saw that picture, I was like,
remember we said that
That's
some
a big-
animals grow all their life?
Yes.
And the world was more perfect for life?
Yes.
So these are teeth from sharks